Hi, everyone. I'm Sabrina Dami. This is 13 Now, your afternoon update on this Wednesday, September 7th. And we have a special only on 13 story to talk about the drug overdose crisis. We've been talking about the impact this has had across the capital region, but today you will see it firsthand. My colleague Tessa Bentulin takes us to Gloversville and shows us firsthand as police respond to overdose after overdose over there. So Tessa's here in the 13 Now studio. She will join us in just a moment with more on what she found and what police are really saying about this. But a few other stories to get you updated on right now. We are going to get an update in just a few hours on the Sitterly Road Bridge in Clifton Park. If you've been in that area recently, you have probably seen or become stuck in the traffic over there. So Department of Transportation crews have been working on it all summer long. The hope was to get everything up and running as school is beginning, and that is this week. So we are expecting an update from them this afternoon on progress here. You'll recall last year a truck hauling a boom lift hit the bridge, causing some major damage. It had to shut down, and that caused a lot of those traffic issues. So we'll get an update from there coming up later on today. Also, right now, farm workers across New York State are urging Governor Kathy Hochul to accept new overtime recommendations. Just yesterday, the state wage board put out its thoughts, saying that farm workers should get paid overtime after working more than 40 hours a week. The current threshold for overtime for farm workers is 60 hours. The governor and the state labor commissioner now have 45 days to accept or reject this recommendation. Let's get a check on your first warning forecast. Bring in my colleague and friend, meteorologist Paul Cayano. And again, a lot of kids starting school, first day of school. Paul, my daughter, went back this morning. We were happy to see just a little sunshine as she was leaving this morning.
Yeah, some breaks. All smiles at your household?
Smiles. Yeah,
Right.
she started third grade, and I feel like this is when the transition happens. You can probably speak to this, where she's not as pumped as I thought she would be.
Yeah, I mean, it's always exciting, right? But then now you're getting into the down and dirty school, right? It's not just playing games and having fun with your friends. You got to start doing some work some point, right?
Exactly. So I think we're hitting that a little bit. But yeah, overall, it was a very nice morning. Awesome. I can't wait to hear how her day went.
Awesome. And it was dry. I mean, around the region, maybe a little bit of fog and overall dampness, but, all the steady rain is out of our area now. And we're going to begin what probably will wind up being a slow trend toward drier and clearer weather. You can still see plenty of clouds outside here on the CDPHP first warning cam. It is up to 71, something we haven't been able to do over the last few days as we were so socked in with the clouds and showers. So at least a step in the right direction are higher temperatures. First warning live Doppler radar is dried out. Again, a lot of that low level moisture. So pockets of fog and drizzle still out there across the higher terrain, but with some hints, Sabrina talked about it, of sunshine, some breaks in the clouds, at least temporarily. We've been able to climb into the upper 60s and lower 70s here at 2 o'clock across the region. Still have plenty of showers around. You can see the disorganized nature of the showers down in the Catskills, out in the Finger Lakes. It's part of the upper level disturbance that still has to move through, and we have an onshore flow from the Atlantic. So the combination of the two keeping things a little bit socked in. Plus, we are into September now, so we don't have that sun as high in the sky as we approach the first of autumn. And as a result, things don't mix out as readily and we get kind of socked in. And I think we're going to have that happen to us the rest of the day into this evening. Maybe some breaks of sunshine later. Temperatures holding in the lower 70s, then falling back into the 60s. And I wouldn't even be surprised if we had a difficult time clearing out some of this low-level moisture tomorrow morning. So don't be shocked if we get into the 10 o'clock hour, the 11 o'clock hour on Thursday, and we're still kind of dealing with some cloud cover issues. Otherwise, I think the trend will be for improving weather and more sunshine during the day Thursday. Temperatures will respond, upper 70s, and then pretty much looks full sunshine on Friday. So that's probably going to wind up being the best day of the week as we round it out on Friday afternoon. So down to 59 tonight, a little bit of clearing, some fog with that low-level moisture back into the high 70s, so near seasonal averages for a Thursday as we start to see some more sunshine come back into the picture. Full sun on Friday, 82, 84 Saturday. Weekend looking nice. Still summer, right? As we get into the 80s both days. And then the next chance of some showers and thunderstorms arriving, Sabrina, for the early to mid part of next week.
What is the first official day of fall?
It's the 21st. So it's coming up. What's today? The 7th. So 2 2 weeks.
Oh, all right. 2 weeks. We better have more of those 80s just for another 2 weeks, right?
We could do it well into September, certainly.
I love it. All right, Paul, thank you very much. We'll see you live at 4. All right, let's get back to that story we were talking about right at the beginning of this update, the overdose crisis, and what we saw when we went to Gloversville. Tessa Bentulin and 13 Investigates looked into the crisis over there, and she is here in the 13 Now studio with us. And Tessa, first, I want to ask how this whole idea came up and why Gloversville?
Yeah, so my investigative producer, Kathy Gaz, and I started looking into this because it's an opioid epidemic. It affects every single community in the country. No one's immune to this at all. So we called so many police agencies, and so many of them didn't want to talk to us except Gloversville. They were the only ones willing to basically play ball with us, pull back the curtain, and show everyone really how bad this opioid epidemic is and what they're really up against. And they showed it to us in some body cam footage, which we'd like to show you.
According to the caller, the female is not breathing.
There's no pulse and she's not. She's gasping for air now. We gave her 2 doses of Narcan.
Tessa, that video is obviously very compelling and dramatic. And unfortunately, I watched your whole story, and it's really well done. But the one thing you said is that they've been to that house before, and those were several doses that they had administered to that woman. Unfortunately,
Yeah, it was 4 doses for this woman. And at the time that they sent us that body cam video, that was the 6th time that she's overdosed. And the police says she's overdosed since that video. So about 7 times at least now. A lot of these people, that's how bad this disease and addiction is. You don't know how bad it is when you're really in it. When you're watching it, everyone knows what this opioid epidemic is. But when you see something like that, when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, this is how bad this is. And that's why these officers are so transparent. They're really looking for solutions here, whether it's from the community, from other police agencies, from us, really. I think what they're really trying to get at us here is for the higher ups, whoever they may be, is to come to the table with some solutions, and it might not just be one.
and you rode along with them, Tessa, and saw a lot of this firsthand. So, what was your takeaway in terms of what we are dealing with here as average people, and what we can do really just to help our neighbors?
I think, my first thought was, after doing the ride along with one of the officers, who actually is a detective, he's not even supposed to be on patrol like that because they're just so down. They're so understaffed over there. They need 6 more officers in a 32-man department. My first thought was empathy for them, because they're doing more than they're supposed to. I mean, when they go out to these calls, it's not only that they have to be the hero here and administer this Narcan, but they also have to console the other people that might be in that home. They have to help them, talk to them, talk them off the ledge while also doing their job. I mean, it's a very stressful job. They have to they're stressed on the job. They're stressed before they come into work, stressed after they leave work. I think as a community, I know there's this with police officers, it's a strained relationship right now. But when you see something like this and you see what they're doing in Gloversville, those officers care so much about what they're doing here. I think just showing them some empathy and trying to see what they're doing is a big difference.
Yeah, a part that which we will hear during your story later is you asked, some people may say why continue to help the same people over and over, and I really liked the officer's response to that, and we will certainly wait to share that during your story, which we will share live at 4. But Tessa, thank you very much for being here, and thank you for your work on this.
Thank you.
That is your 13 Now update. We will see you, of course, live at 4 on News Channel 13. I'm Sabrina Dami.